only in New York.
This is everything you missed in the Dexter Resurrections trailer, starting with a very unexpected one. Harrison is back and may be an active serial killer himself. Harrison Morgan definitely has a darkness, but now he may be embracing a dark passenger of his own.
This is the dark path you're going down.
After watching his mother, Rita, die at the hands of the Trinity Killer, Harrison was left with a life full of dysfunction and instability. His own father left him with Hannah McKay, a near stranger and serial killer in her own right. What other family did he really have? His only aunt, Deb, was murdered by the brain surgeon before he was even old enough to create solid memories with her. And then he was flown to Argentina, which meant he couldn't establish any relationship with his step-siblings Astor and Cody. Add in Dexter's DNA and Rita's horrific death, and it's clear how Harrison would have ended up with his own inner darkness. So watching the trailer, it may have been noticed that Harrison has returned and seems to be a butcher in his own capacity now. He's shown dragging something heavy and bloody. Was he killing a person or working in a butcher for the hotel that employs him? It could be both, but the upcoming series will obviously reveal all. Seeing a slightly older, more mature Harrison in her apron reminiscent of Dexter's traditional ritual attire, wielding a knife violently, begs the question, what is his fate? He could become a serial killer like his father, but he was the one who tried to kill Dexter for what he had been doing. Also, Harrison implored his father to turn himself in.
Open your eyes and look at what you've done!
Before making the choice to shoot him in the chest. If you look closely at the newspaper Dexter opens in the trailer, you can see that there is reference to innocent victims being targeted. Dexter would never target an innocent intentionally, which begs the question, who is hunting down innocents in New York City? The cover of the paper states that the killer is going under the name The Dark Passenger. Who else besides Harjan would have known to go by such a moniker? So does he still have a moral compass stronger than Dexter's? He already attacked Ethan, his friend and classmate in New Blood. Will he fall into similar patterns and justifications, despite his initial reservations about killing? The shot that we see of him in the trailer might suggest as much, which is the beauty of the trailer that has left us all on the edge of our seats. Harrison's development is definitely something to watch for in this new edition of the Dexter universe. Angel doesn't seem to be angry with Dexter. Despite believing that Dexter may be the Bay Harbor butcher and knowing that he probably killed Coach Logan, a completely innocent man, an excellent member of Iron Lake's community. In the trailer for Resurrection, we see Angel embrace Dexter in a big hug. Why would he do something like that? If you haven't watched New Blood, you may have expected Angel to be excited to see Dexter again after all those years, but it's quickly made known through the trailer that Angel is well aware of Chief Bishop's suspicions. It should be noted that at the end of New Blood, Angela Bishop spoke with Angel and exposed Dexter as the butcher. Angel then gathers the files relevant to Maria's death and the investigation to ones with the BHB and says that he will meet her in Iron Lake the very next day.
I'll be there first thing tomorrow with everything I've got.
So why did he hug Dexter? Does he still believe that Dokes could be the Bay Harbor butcher after all, even after the suspicious murder of his ex-wife and captain, Maria Lagerta?
My ex-wife. My old captain.
Is Angel somehow okay with Dexter's actions as a killer because he only attacked other murderers? Is he aware of the extent of Dexter's crimes? Does he know the connection Dexter had to Maria's death? After the hug, Angel does mention to Dexter the accusations he'd heard about him.
Chief Bishop told me that you were alive. She said that you were the Bay Harbor butcher,
prompting Dexter to jump out of a window in the hospital restroom and run away again. Angel's later shown speaking with Harrison in the trailer, who we know moved away after shooting Dexter and relocated to New York City. So with Angel shown meeting with him, it's likely the detective is still tracking Dexter and will play a major role in Dexter Resurrection. We are all excited to see how Angel will be used in the show, even if he did seem overly kind to Dexter in this first introduction to the new series, the van owner's personality. When Dexter flees the hospital through the window in the hospital bathroom, he steals a van and makes a beeline for New York City. He was hoping that he could easily blend in such a large city, making it harder for police to recapture him. But did you notice the bumper stickers on the back of the vehicle he took? They say you can tell a lot about a person through their bumper stickers, and whoever owns that van has quite a colorful one. This detail may be inconsequential, but it's shown that the back of the van is covered in bumper stickers, some disavowing gun control laws, others professing the owner's belief in aliens. They are only shown for a split second before we see Dexter booking it for New York, but if you pause it, you can read them all for yourself. Again, it could be nothing, maybe just a creative detail, but it was quite an interesting one to say the least. Maybe this compelling van owner will never be revealed, or maybe they'll play into some plot line of the show, whether minor or major. Either way, it's worth noting, and again, a very funny detail to spot in the trailer. Where's Angela? Despite being the one to find Dexter bleeding out at the end of New Blood, Police Chief Angela Bishop is nowhere to be seen in the trailer for Resurrection. It seems that Dexter woke up in a hospital in or near Iron Lake, and so wouldn't the local police still be interested in apprehending him when he came to? Dexter Dexter also isn't handcuffed to the hospital bed when he wakes up. Perhaps there wasn't enough evidence to pin him down as the Bay Harbor butcher, but what about his murder of Logan? What about his connection to the death of Matt Caldwell? The police in Iron Lake no doubt have their hands full with the investigation into Kurt Caldwell's decades-long murder spree and the sudden disappearance. Maybe Angela deduced that Dexter killed Kurt himself, in keeping with a Bay Harbor butcher's established MO. She could have felt grateful for such a kill after looking for Kurt's victims for several years. Remember, too, that Kurt was the one who killed her best friend Iris, and she was the one who broke the missing girl's investigation and open as far as the police department of Iron Lake was concerned. Maybe she moved to a larger city or got a promotion as a result of her efforts and success in solving such a major case. Maybe she was scarred by what she experienced and abandoned police work altogether after her ordeal with Dexter and the death of her friend and co-worker Logan. Whatever the case, she is absent in this trailer, but it's understood she will be in this new installment in the Dexter saga. The capacity in which she returns is yet to be revealed, but fans of the series are anxiously awaiting Angela Bishop's arrival. Dexter's new look is giving Dark Defender. Near the end of the trailer, Dexter is shown donning a new look. He is dressed in black from head to toe, and his eyes are hidden behind a pair of dark sunglasses.
What do you think?
This is very reminiscent of the Dark Defender, a comic book character shown in Season 2 of the original series. If you recall, in Episode 5 of that season, Dexter and Sergeant Dokes arrive at a comic book store to investigate a homicide. The victim, Denny Foster, was a night worker at the shop and was found bludgeoned to death, presumably with a snow globe that was for sale in the store. While examining the crime scene, Dexter is distracted by a poster on the wall that depicts the Dark Defender.
The Dark Defender.
The store owner explains that Denny had been working on creating a graphic novel based on the Bay Harbor Butcher in which he reimagined the Butcher as a superhero rather than a heinous criminal. The tagline used for the character was, "Stalker of the night, his blade of vengeance turns wrong into right."
Stalker of the night, his blade of vengeance turns wrong into right.
Dexter likes the ring of the name, appreciates the recognition of his work, but rejects the character's look, joking to himself that Miami was too hot for so much leather.
Nah, Miami's too hot for all that leather.
But New York has a completely different climate, making an all-black outfit more plausible. Most importantly, this new look could suggest that Dexter is leaning back into accepting his inner darkness and the utility of his actions as a killer. At the end of both the original series and New Blood, Dexter was plagued by his identity as a murderer, believing he was broken and only brought harm to the people around him. But deep down, he always wanted to be accepted for who he was, and perhaps even celebrated for saving the lives of innocents through his actions as a serial killer using Harry's code. Is this new all-black look meant to reflect a renewed self-acceptance and pride in his work? We already know that in the new series he is recruited by a wealthy benefactor played by Peter Dinklage, who seems to enjoy gathering serial killers for his own purposes. This could have inspired Dexter to take pride in his demented actions and act with more confidence. Time will tell, but one thing is for certain. Dexter has never been able to resist his dark urges for too long, and the trailer does end with him standing over someone strapped to his table, as usual. If he has accepted himself and is acting as a sort of dark defender, that would be perfectly in line with the Dexter we have come to know and love. If you enjoyed this video and want to find out what would really happen if Lila never killed Dokes, click the video on the screen.